Hello, Louisiana Beer Reviews. Today we're reviewing Dos Equis Mexican Pale Ale. Now this is something that just came out, around here at least.
Right. And I have no background on it at all, other than the fact the other Dos Equis that I've tried, which is the Amber and the regular green label one, tastes pretty good. This came in a variety pack that I picked up for $13.99, which included the
Tecate Light,
Tecate Light,
Bohemia,
and the regular green label Dos Equis. So I saw it and I was like, let me go ahead and pick it up. So
175 calories, so it's a little strong, 5.5% alcohol, a little higher alcohol. It took us years to perfect this Mexican Pale Ale, but we did it. 1 part hoppy Pale Ale, 1 part refreshing Mexican cerveza, and brewed with citrus hops. Oh, and with a pinch of fire ant tears for a spicy kick.
So, a lot of the Mexican beers were made and formulated at the German purity laws through the German immigrants. So this one falls along the lines of an English style in the pale ale.
So it's a spiced pale ale.
So this goes kind of goes off key a little bit.
And it's best by July.
Traditionals.
Yeah, and it's best by July 2020. So yeah, the Mexican beers were almost all started by German immigrants, like you're saying. George Haas started Dos Equis in 1897. German guy started Carta Blanca. German guy started Sol.
Right. So this would steer away from any of the recipes that the traditional recipes that they would do. So maybe this is a collaboration. I have no idea, or maybe they just
wanted to
bought
branch
a
out.
recipe. Yeah.
And they didn't exactly follow the German purity law because, they started bringing in that Mexican corn.
Right, the maize.
But they followed the German style, the Vienna lagers,
Right,
the Pilsners.
That's good. So I'm wondering if this is a precursor to Dos Equis possibly doing an IPA.
I don't know. Remember, you may not remember, about 5 years ago, there was a Dos Equis Roja. It was a red beer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like in one variety pack and never saw it again. And I really liked it, but here you could pour it since you brought it.
All right. So we're
Thanks
going
for
to
the
give this
beer.
it comes in a different color label, which is interesting. Is that Montezuma? I'm not for sure who that is.
Might be Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma with some
Right.
lemons. We got a rival beer company's glasses, but sorry.
Okay, so it's pouring amber.
That is
George,
dark.
A little bit. Sorry about that.
Oh man, I got ripped off. Okay,
Did you get ripped off? No.
a little bit.
No.
Got a little ripped off. All right, yeah, it's Moctezuma with citrus on his headpiece. Ale with natural flavor. See, like I always tell people,
So it's got,
you have to have the disclosure. Ale with natural flavor.
yeah. It's the color of the amber that they make.
If this is pale, give me a break. This is brown.
Right.
This is copper, man.
So I wonder if they, right? So it's an off style for them, but it seems to be falling back on a beer that they already make in the amber.
It looks like a dark brewed tea.
Yeah.
Like iced tea, dark brewed.
And it's
Little bit of
it's
foam,
kind of got
racing.
that smell to it a little bit. There's a little tea going on with it.
Wait a minute.
So I've never gotten tea out of a.
I'm smelling some toasted malt. A little spice,
Yeah, it's citrus. A little citrus out of it too.
Man, maybe a little corn. It
Yeah.
smells good.
It's kind of all over the place. I don't know if you could stamp a label of a pale ale on this.
Yeah,
It
well,
certainly doesn't.
pale would connote pale.
Yeah, amber. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, an
okay.
amber.
So I'd say
Right,
just
cheers.
by the color, they didn't do a really great job. But hey, let's go ahead and give
Well,
it.
they got black IPAs, which makes no sense. Black pale ale, right?
Tastes good. It's got that classic Vienna style that a lot of the Mexican beers follow.
There's a little spice heat in the lemon.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the real low level flavor of malt, maybe corn.
And the heat kind of lingers a little bit. So it's like a spicy beer.
It is, and
It's still there, and I've only taken one sip.
high medium body, so it's got some heft to it. It's a crisp finish. This does have heat.
Yeah.
This
Like
is
they
something
brewed
like
with
you would.
peppers or something.
Yeah, well they said that. And this is something you would drink with like the
I'm
grilled
sorry, I didn't
shrimp.
catch that.
Like grilled shrimp. Yeah, it says they call it ant tears. Fire ant tears. Must be some kind of little spice.
Well, that describes the little stinging I'm getting then on the back note. Interesting. It's the color of a red ant too.
Yeah, it's kind of
Why
like
did
that.
just call us
Southern,
red ant beer?
yeah, Southern Prohibition fire ant. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Um,
It's turn into like oatmeal fire ant at the end. Get really thick and not so great.
Oh man, that's not good. Well, if you like toasted malt, a dark clear color, a slight lemon flavor, and some kind of strange spicy heat, that would go well with, I think, grilled shrimp and some lime. You know, you put the squirt of lime on it, and
Like shrimp tacos.
yeah,
Like fish tacos or something.
or maybe some grilled or broiled trout. Speckled trout would go well with this.
Yeah, that's our trout down here, speck trouts.
So that's just my thoughts on it. But anyway,
It does not taste like a pale ale. It doesn't look like a pale ale, and it doesn't taste like a pale ale.
no,
So,
because it's a Mexican pale ale. All right.
but even the color's not a pale ale. You know what would been a really good name for this rather than a pale ale? Fire ant.
Mexican fire
Just
ant.
just Mexican fire ant beer.
Oh, Mexican red ant.
A red ant, right?
So anyway,
Because when you drink it and it goes down, instead of getting that hoppiness in the back like you get off of like a Sierra Nevada pale ale, because I'm trying to think what's a really good pale ale that we usually get and we taste and we all like, or both of us rather,
Sierra Nevada.
which is Sierra Nevada. So that's kind of like the measuring stick.
Yeah, it tastes nothing like that.
No, it's completely different, but it does follow that kind of poppiness that you get at the end. Except with this one, it stings with every pop.
Yeah. Actually, you want to know the truth? Well, of course we want to know the truth. You know what it reminds me of in the malt part of it? It reminds me of Bass English Pale Ale.
Truth, you can't handle the truth. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's got that tea background to it too. I'm
Yeah.
getting tea.
So you know, do you pick up that little Bass? Because Bass has like that little sweetness, but
Not really. It's been a good while since I've had a Bass, and the last
Okay.
time I had one it was in a black and tan.
oh well, never mind.
Yeah.
It's an interesting product. I want to save some for the photo. This is not the first time you had it, huh? I know you tried one before.
No, it's the first time.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Huh. Thought you might have took a little sneak preview of that 12-pack.
No, it's at the house.
I'm going to say about 91 out of 100. B
Well,
minus. I mean, A
I'm going to
minus.
say on a pale ale style, you failed. It's not colored like a pale ale. It doesn't taste like a pale ale. And that whole peppery stinging in the back, it's not really anything I've gotten off of a pale ale. However, on an amber beer, it's pretty good. In a Vienna style, it's pretty damn good. I kind of like the pepper in this because it's unique. And
the tea-like qualities.
yeah, it's got the tea. It's just, there's a little sweetness going on with it. So, an overall put together beer, I'd have to give it an A. But the style is just, it's not a pale ale to me.
It's more like a Mexican
I'd
experimental
give it a
ale.
D
A
on
D.
the style,
A
but
D.
an A on a beer.
So
if
it's-
that makes any sense to anyone.
In other words, it doesn't fit the style, but it is
Right.
what you so.
And we've
just
run
factor in
across
the-
this before on certain beers. We did that, that UNO pale ale was the same way.
UFO.
You-
Oh, UNO. Yeah,
UNO.
yeah. For
Yeah.
University of New Orleans, the privateers.
Yeah, which
That's what
was
got me.
canned and brewed by a private micro brew that has now since gone out of business.
Yeah. So, regardless of the style issue, it's still an A of some number that you didn't give, but that's all right. I'm saying an A minus.
Give it a 90.
90? Okay, so 90 and 91.
Yeah.
Not bad
And the
for a
only reason
mixed
why I
pack
didn't get a
product.
higher number is because the style's all over the place.
So if they had called it a Mexican experimental ale, you would have had no trouble with that.
Yeah, I just called it like a red ale, or spicy red ale.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so Les Ale Bon Temps Relais, a very interesting and unusual product. And we're going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana.
Drink better beers.